previous automatic water change fish rack project was canceled. Thanks to a fairly sudden move where I had to basically drop all of the projects that I was working on, every single one. But now that I'm in the new house, I'm in this new fish room that I'm trying to make into my cozy little fish room and finalize it, I think it's time to start again. My previous steel rack that I had so painstakingly made cute back before the move is here currently in a different part of my fish room. That is not going to be my automatic water change rack anymore. Why? Because it's too big. It's too big to fit in this nice little space that I have next to my sink where I want my automatic water change system to be. This here is the space where I want my automatic water change system to be, right next to my sink. The old rack is currently sitting on the wall over there. I'm still getting organized in here. Because of the dimensions of the space that I have, that I want to put a rack, I actually had to buy a completely new shelf, one that would fit nicely into the space that I chose. I chose this one. I have a good feeling about this one. It's the width that I want. It has a really high weight limit per shelf, which I appreciate because I'll be putting a lot of fish tanks on it that get really heavy. It's the perfect dimension for me to be able to put my like 20-gallon highs just one after another, and then like a row of 10 gallons one after another, and another row of 10 gallons one after another. It's gonna be perfect. Quick note that it did not come in this beautiful, very tasteful pink color. I did that. It actually came as a bare metal galvanized shelf, which I kind of regretted because apparently you can't just paint galvanized metal. You have to like be really careful about what you do because it doesn't react well to paint. And I had to paint it. I couldn't have an uncute shelf to put fish tanks on. After I agonized and agonized over like, oh God, how do I paint this shelf correctly? I finally found out how to do it. I used a self-etching primer, which is used for bare metals and also galvanized metals. I used this brand in particular, Magic, which was really thick and gloopy. So I had to put some paint thinner in it, and I coated all the bare metal with this stuff, and then I spray painted it. So that's how I got a beautiful, tasteful pink shelf. Also, quick note that if you're gonna paint galvanized metal, you have to wash it really well, like with soap and water, with a degreaser. You have to get all the oil off of the metal before you paint it. So was all of that effort, all the effort I expended to turn this shelf pink, was it worth it? Yeah, look how cute it is. Look at it. I'll be using all of the tanks that I prepared for my last fish rack on this one. That is pretty cute. That's cute for a fish rack. 4 20 gallons on the bottom, and then I'll have 5 10 gallons on each rack. This is pretty awesome. I'm liking this. In case you didn't see the last video, all of these tanks have holes drilled into the back of them. These holes will have bulkheads in them, and that will help control the water level of my tanks. This is what the interior plumbing is going to look like. This is a furniture grade black PVC. This is Leo, my big boy. The water level is going to be controlled by this little piece right here. Water will flow in and exit. So I'm gonna make 10 of these pieces. Dogs, come on, dogs. So I'm gonna make 10 of these pieces for my 10-gallon tanks and then 5 20-gallon sizes. The plumbing's in. Pretty cool, huh? This will prevent any fry from being sucked down. And I'm actually leaving this part, I know it's hard to see because it's black on black, I'm leaving this unglued. So I can actually pop this piece out, put a shorter piece in, and be able to control the water level in my tanks. Now that I have the fixtures starting to get fitted and all nice, I have to think about what I'm gonna do on the back side. Making myself some room. And this is the finished product. I spent my evening cutting out and measuring this. So the water's going to be flowing out of here. There's gonna be a little tube. It's gonna set right into this, which is going to bring the water out. Gravity is gonna flow it, hopefully towards a little drain. I haven't gotten that far yet. The arms, they're all glued and done, but When I get back here, this part where the water all gathers and flows down, that's not done yet. It's just kind of a rough draft. Before I actually commit to gluing the final bits, I want my plumber, who's gonna come over soon, just confirm that everything's gonna be set up right and it's at the right heights and that it's all gonna work out. Then I'm gonna glue everything and spray paint to make the PVC look all nice, because it has to look nice. This video is not the longest, but I feel like I'm at a stopping point because now I have to wait for my plumber, who takes a while to get a hold of. I was totally just gonna end the video right there, but I was editing and I was like, Taylor, it's not done enough. It's like an incomplete thought. You need to do more. Come on, Taylor. You can do better. You see these 4 10-gallon tanks? I'm gonna drill some holes in them. First, I made a template. This way the hole is in the same spot on all of my tanks. Next, I'm gonna clamp it down. Get some water dribbling. That's more than a dribble, but this is my glass hole saw. Once you drilled the hole, you can take your template off. Voila, very sharp hole. I'll do that to each of my tanks. I have plenty of black paint on hand, so I'm gonna paint these suckers black. Now I have to wait for all my paint to dry, so I might as well do a little bit more. I think that I'm gonna make my manifold for my water that drips into the tanks. So I've made the outflow, and now I have to make the inflow. Fresh water is going to be coming in, going into a manifold that has a bunch of little drip emitters where I can control the speed of the water coming in. And that's how that happens, but I actually have to make this little DIY manifold. To do that, I'll be using a length of PVC pipe. This is 3/4 inch, just because it's the smallest my hardware store had. I'm gonna glue a little end cap to the top, like so. This is gonna be under pressure, so it's primed and glued. So now this is gonna be mounted like in the back here somewhere, and I need my little outflow nozzles, my little drip nozzles now. I balanced it sort of where it's going to go, and I'm just gonna take a pen and mark where I want my holes. The valves that I use to control the drip rate are these little tiny black ones. I think the brand is Two Little Fishies, I think. I'll post links down below to where I got these. I also have a little bit to drill my pilot holes, and this special little doodad bit, which is gonna allow me to make a threaded hole, which this will screw into. You'll see. Okay, I'm going to where I made those little marks, and I'm just gonna drill the pilot hole, like so. Then I'll put in my special threaded bit that I showed. I'm going to make the hole threaded. Now this hole is threaded, and this valve screws perfectly into it. Quick note, there's one step that I'm missing. I need to get some plumber's tape, which is like a waterproof, like a Teflon tape, and wrap the threads to really seal it, make sure I don't have any leaks. But I ran out, and I just noticed, so I'm gonna have to wrap that up tomorrow, but I'm gonna make all the holes tonight, and I'll be ready to move on. I think now I can finally stop for a while. I'm gonna get a hold of my plumber. He's gonna help me set up my auto water change system, and I can't wait. This has been my dream for so long. Having an automatic water change system has just been like this lofty goal, and I'm working really hard towards it. I just need a little bit of help though. Thanks so much for watching, guys. My new fish room is coming together more and more, even though it's been a really slow process. It's happening. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.